Repeatedly, the bear told us that tethering is not safe. It's possible that their new stablecoin for Americans is still insecure. Then Uphold verified what the narrow-minded refused to acknowledge. Let's get to the 4 digits. Let's look into it. Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a great time. The additional piece costs about $3.12. Let's start. 1, 2, 3. Guys, here it is, and there it is. What a lovely sight that is. This is the exciting part of XRP, folks. Community, this is really fascinating. If you think you'll appreciate this video, please like it. Now, one more tweet from Apple. XRP recently reached $1,000. What will you do next? In addition to waiting another 11 timestamp and making a wish, this is from Uphold. Currently, pools are wishing for $1,000 per XRP. I'm telling you guys, it's actually feasible. In addition, the exchanges making this claim are conspiring with other exchanges to manipulate prices in order to make them rise and fall. Alright, if you haven't figured it out, despite the fact that we believe it to be 4 numbers, they are the one, not me, and they are supporting our theory with information from red alerts. What are you tweeting now that XRP has reached $1,000? Then, since XRP recently reached $1,000, let's attempt this again. Oh, what will you do next? They simply tweet this out 1, 2, 3 after that. Everything is provided by 3 men. So, is it possible that XRP will ever reach $1 million? To be really honest, I do think it. Why? Because you guys need to understand the finance system. Swift is the most out-of-date person who needs to change or risk being eaten. Every 1,000 years, yes, every 1,000 years is number 2. For some, a new currency replaces the old one. You all understand this, don't you? It's a program. The cycle continues to repeat. Guys, it's a loop. It is therefore certain to occur, although I believe it will be combined with XRP. You guys are all set for Mr. Paul today, 913 times, and it's possible to schedule 1,000 hours here. Another significant exchange is Binance. This was stated right here. They're all tweeting these mysterious messages right now, guys. There would be no restrictions as a result. You people seem to have no boundaries, don't you? What would this low no limits actually mean? You all understand that there isn't a cap. Indeed, there is no upper limit to what it can accomplish. Correct? Just take a look at Bitcoin. I don't like to bring it up because I know people will bring out the market capitalization, but people were skeptical when it would ever get $10 or even $1. Yes, most likely even $1. Nevertheless, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and then 1,000,000. Alright? People will continue to have doubts until the collapse happens. This is what Mr. Paul told us though. Actually, Mr. Paul told us this, that a flip switch will be available overnight. As you can see, it moves like this. This is an extra piece. At this point, the amount approaches $1,000. Alright? This is 4 numbers. The precise cost of this is unknown to me, but it is unquestionably 4 figures. This location is right here. Alright? This chart is also log. Am I correct? Since it's log, the numbers will soar out of control. Alright? Well, however, Mr. Paul assured us that it would happen. According to this chart, if we follow Mr. Paul's forecast, we will reach $26 in the upcoming months, which is when the black zone actually occurs. Perhaps the crash is on its way to hitting 64 cents. Yes, but again, given how quickly things change, you can't trade this. Alright? People warned us to wait now since the movements come swiftly, if they do occur, which I believe will happen overnight. I'm not sure what the precise route will be, and unless you're an insider like Mr., it's really hard to guess. Then the flip switch occurs exactly at 4 digits. I believe it is feasible. I'm sending funds right now from charts, and from a normal standpoint, it's feasible. It's feasible according to exchanges, but what about utility? Is it feasible? Now that you've heard this, everything will make sense. And the money transfer from Bank of England to Santander UK took me a whole day. You already know what my banks are, so I won't tell you what the platform was. For the Philippines, it can still be a substantial sum of money. The next query. One of your products, Ripple, is a payment system for distributing liquidity. Therefore, the question is a run on Ripple possible? Or to put it another way, everyone wants your liquidity. Because there is a situation when people start to have doubts, no one wants to supply it. For motives that are detrimental to the system. Therefore, they first explain what Ripple offers and what it doesn't offer in terms of liquidity. You can access market liquidity with the help of the tools that Ripple offers. Liquidity is therefore crucial in the skies. Correct. It all comes down to liquidity. Really, nothing else matters. Alright? The new Finiture's system will be loyal to whoever becomes the king of liquidity. And that's what they want. The reason for this is because approximately $50 billion worth of liquidity was traded on the digital asset marketplace in the last 24 hours. Comprises XRP, which is equivalent to Bitcoin, Ether, and so forth. Could there therefore be a widespread run on digital assets? The question's subtlety is that Ripple is a technology company. Is a run on Ripple possible? I have no idea how that appears. That's not really anything I can think about. Is it possible that digital assets will be run? I'm not sure. You know, people are redistributing the $50 billion of liquidity that you have today. As you are aware, a settlement for XRP occurs in 3 seconds. The liquidity pools will be so big, you know that transferring billions and trillions of dollars won't even have an impact on the price of XRP. That's how big the liquidity must be for the banks to be able to swim about in the pool, or this vast sea as we call it. Are you all beginning to get it now? Correct? It's as straightforward as 1, 2, 3 and as clear as day. Jim Rickards, however, offers an alternative viewpoint. Trump intends to reveal a $150 trillion secret trust fund for 161 years have passed. No television will show the wealth change. It is moving into commodities, emerging markets, and digital assets. Do you all understand now? Correct? From all of these distinct angles, we can see that it is feasible. Why? Maybe that wouldn't have happened 20 years ago. Alright, I get it. However, at this moment, it can be because you're in a transitional stage of life. It's a time of change from the past to the present. We should be thankful for this chance because it is 1 in a million that you will be born at this moment and be living and breathing correctly. What is the number? Correct? Most likely a lottery victory. You all understand, don't you? That's what's going on right now, but nobody will give a damn. Create what I refer to as a secret trust for the American people, which has been steadily increasing into a fortune of $150 trillion for over a century. That's sufficient. People are unaware of a secret trust that is kept hidden from the general public. Additionally, you didn't until he was, I believe, was a member of the CIA. Therefore, he most likely understands what he's talking about, and in these kinds of agencies, he's generally right. Even though ostensibly you will never be completely alone after you retire, they will never abandon them. Thus, they might utilize him as a person to provide people with knowledge that will eventually come to pass. Alright, so they always say something for everyone to see first, and then whether you believe it or not, it's all your decision, eh? However, they were correct when they said it initially, and it will most likely occur. However, why was it initially locked off? Correct? I don't know. Perhaps it's due to the authorities. I was about to remark, I'm not sure, but this is getting too personal, guys. Perhaps it was because it was sinister. Not ruling it out was part of a diabolical plot. However, new guards have arrived in town since, you know, the changeover phase is happening. Perhaps they thus wish for prosperity to rule supreme in this new period. Maybe this golden age. President Trump is to be thanked. You see, the president has the power to disclose the secret trust for the first time in almost 40 years. Isn't that right? Guys, he's authorized. What will that money go into then? Digital assets, probably. Correct? Indeed. Guys, let's talk about this where things start to get a little weird. Alright, so perhaps I'm also not overly optimistic about this coin. Since they had just made the announcement, I assumed I was, but the bear instructed us to hang for a minute. The bear once tweeted about this picture, which is the 2019 calendar. After that, we witness all of these coins making their way to the altar, the fire, the sacrifice, and in essence a coin emerging. Which logo is that? Hold on a minute. Hold on, that is actually USAT logo. This very moment. Do you see? Hold on, it's exactly the same thing. Allow me to enlarge this for you all. Take a look at this. Correct? It's not the same as Tether. This explosion is Tether's logo. Correct? However, USAT